I'm in the the Woodhull State Forest in Muriwai, near Muriwai. Just went for a walk through the forest, and I've ended up in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the forest. There's walkways all through this forest where people walk their dogs and go for walks and mountain bike. But today it's been really strong norwesterly, heavy rain last night, so I'm in a place where the wind isn't so bad. It's blowing over my head, but I'll speak up so you can hear me when I'm talking to you. But beautiful spot, really peaceful, really nice to come in here and drop in for a bit. The last couple of days I've had a really amazing array of incidents that have brought me to a deeper understanding of the nature of manifestation. And those incidents came in for me in a very roundabout kind of way. I was just looking into other aspects of the conscious awakening experience and the conscious expansion experience. And what I came upon was the little tidbits that were in these other videos I was watching and in these articles that I was reading about the nature of manifestation. I've been reading Lynn Grabhorn's book, Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting for You. I got turned on to that book by reading a book called How I Clobbered Every Financial and Fiscal System in the World, I think it's called. Elizabeth Mary Croft, I think it's called that title. It might be a different title, I can't remember what it's called, but Mary Elizabeth Croft's book. And in the end of that book, there was a bibliography of the books that she'd referenced in regards to citing for the work that she did in that book, in her book that she wrote. How I Clobbered Every Fiscal and Financial System in the World, something like that. Anyway, so at the end of that book was Lynn Grabhorn's, a reference to Lynn Grabhorn's book, Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting for You. So I've been reading that book, and there's nothing really in that book that's new to me, but it reaffirms many other aspects of what I've known about the manifestation process and about how to co-create with the universe. But there are some really powerful anecdotes, stories, and perspectives that she shares in that book, which really made a huge difference for me in regards to looking to keep my valve. And she says about keeping your valve open in regards to knowing who you are, most importantly, right? If you know who you truly are, what you truly are, and I've had this experience before in my early 20s, this avatar is not who I am. This is an avatar. This is a lens to look at this frequency band through, to experience this frequency band. And as David Icke would say, you're all that is, ever has been, and ever will be. So when you know what you really are, you look at this avatar as being a lens. Just had a dude walk past, and I had to stop the video because I wanted to talk to him. In the middle of nowhere, some cat just walks past me, walks up towards me with his dog. So I had to stop the video and have a chat to him. So what I was talking about in regards to the nature of the co-creation, knowing who you are and knowing what you truly are. And it's like when you peel the layers of the onion back in regards to ego, persona, the creation of all your environment, your peers, your upbringing, all the conditioning, all those layers of the onion, you peel them back and you go back to the essence of what you truly are. And when you feel that, when you understand that, and when you know that, and you embody it, and you are actually sitting in the power of that understanding and that knowing. And don't get me wrong, when I say this can be a really powerful, and if you can be present with this experience, because once you're in that place and you know who you truly are, and you experience your life from that place of deep connection to spirit and to connection to all that is, ever has been, and ever will be, you generate incredible levels of compassion and empathy for all of life, because you see that people are just acting out of their masks, their personas, their egos, and therefore compassion emanates from you. So the valve that Lynn Grabhorn talks about, when she talks about the valve, for me, I consider that what she's talking about, because she talks about it quite often, but she doesn't really give a description of her own personal experience, what the valve is for her. But the valve is like the connection to your true nature, which is all that ever has been, ever will be, and all that is, ever has been, and ever will be, which is what David Icke says. So the connection to that valve is like, for me, when I visualize and connect to that analogy, I consider the fact that my valve is basically my heart vortex connected to my true self, my true nature, my awareness, my consciousness, that which I am, at the core of my being, in this frequency band I call an avatar, the being occupying the avatar. When I get back to that and I feel into that place of what I truly am, and what I truly can be expressing myself in this reality, I feel my inner child, especially before the age of 7, back to when I was a baby. I feel that essence of what I truly am in that place. But and then in that space of feeling that energy of being my inner child and feeling my inner child, I understand that in order to co-create the manifestation, that inner child has to be a part of the process for me. Because the inner child for me, my childhood was full of imagination, and my life was very imaginative between 9 and 0, not that I can remember, but my early childhood was so laden with imagination. I was constantly imagining, constantly pretending, constantly playing in a place of deep imagination and co-creating with the multiverse in that way through my imagination. And if I go back to the essence of what I truly am, I go back to that inner child. And this is what I learned yesterday from looking at one of Gigi Young's videos on YouTube. She talked about the nature of co-creation can only happen when you have a healed inner child. And that was like a lightning bolt to me, a lightning bolt to my awareness, and made me realize that where I was getting stuck in my co-creative manifestation processes was that the valve was turned on in regards to my heart vortex being open and the energy flowing out of my heart vortex. And of course, when you're in an environment like I've been in Auckland City for almost 6 months, when you're in an environment like that and mass consciousness around you brings you back into the field of that consciousness, whether it be an overlay from 5G or a technological overlay, whether it be people's mindsets, people's attitudes, whatever they're resonating out into the world around you in a city like Auckland City. When you're in that environment, you are often overwhelmed by the energetic flows that are happening all around you. And to be in a place where you're in your heart and you're letting your heart be open, your valve be open to co-create with your inner child can be really difficult. But when you're out in nature, like I am right now, it's a lot easier to turn on that valve and feel connected to all that is and use that as a place for deep-rooted imagination and co-creation with the multiverse. I can see that, I can feel it. And there's been a really strong urge for me the last 6 months to be in nature a lot more than being in the city. I love tapping into the city, but I love being more in nature. And I've been looking for a place to live in Auckland City, somewhere out in the middle of nowhere in the forest. And I've actually got a house I've been visualizing to make it mine on Anawhata Road, near Anawhata Beach in West Auckland. And I've been visualizing it and feeling into it and feeling into the end, as Neville Goddard says, and feeling into the energy of what it's like to have it, what it looks like, how it feels to be inside of it, what I was doing inside of it, how I spend my time inside there, how I've created the environment inside of it, how it looks inside, how it looks outside, everything. I've gone through this process of co-creating with the universe to create that experience. But it's in the middle of nowhere. And there's a very strong reason for that, and a very good reason for that. Intuitively now I can see with the hats I've had yesterday, and also reading Lynn Grabhorn's book, I understand that being in nature is for me, and for most people, I think that need to have a time to be able to recalibrate. To be in nature is key. Because by being in nature, all that mass consciousness that irradiates from people in regards to resonance and how they feel in their life, their personas, their egos, their fears, their hopes, their dreams, their wishes, everything they resonate from their personas, from their egos, from their layers of the onion, when they resonate all this energy out into the world, unless you've got a very strong countenance and you're anchored in your awareness and totally present with it, you often get dragged into people's energy fields. And by getting dragged into those energy fields, you lose your ability to co-create with the universe because things get wishy-washy. And your valve isn't open because of the nature of the experiences you're having. In the last 6 months, for me, it's shown me deeply how my valve has been closed off so many times, because what I've experienced in the last 6 months is just doors closing all over the place, which shows me now, after reading this book by Lynn Grabhorn and also watching Gigi Young's video yesterday, that my valve has been closed down almost the entire time in the last 6 months due to the nature of my experiences, even though when I'm looking to manifest and co-create with the universe, my inner child hasn't been part of that co-creation experience. So I need to talk to my inner child through visualization, through conversations, through meditations, talk to my inner child and bring my inner child into the co-creation experience, and also check in with my inner child to see in regards to how healed my inner child is. I work with a guy called Jerry Bassey, a psychotherapist, in 2018 and 2019. At the end of 2018, 2019, Jerry Bassey was amazing in regards to helping me heal my inner child and bring my inner child into a place of safety in regards to connection, in regards to a relationship. Because I never felt safe in relationships, intimate romantic relationships, due to the nature of my childhood traumas, and that pattern and that experience I had resonated out into the unified field. What I didn't want to experience, but I experienced it because I didn't know at the time when I was what I was experiencing was a mirror for me to show me what I needed to heal in regards to my partners and how I was conducting myself in my relationships. So getting into that place allowed me to see what I didn't want to create. And then the last 5 years of my relationship experiences and my intimate relationship experiences, I've seen what I do want to experience and what I don't want to experience in a relationship. That's a mirror for me to look at through somebody else. Be my mirror for me to show me what I don't want in a relationship and what I do want in a relationship. And it's getting clearer and clearer. And that process for me is very healing as well. So I'm in a place now where understanding that, making my inner child feel safe, and knowing my inner child is part of the co-creation experience, and knowing that also coming to nature is a wonderful place to reset and to reconnect and to drop into my heart space, to allow my valve to open and then move out into the city or wherever I'm going to, in Auckland for example, or anywhere in the world I go to. There's a lot of people, a lot of energetic resonance, and remaining in that place, doing my best to remain in that place with my heart, my valve open. And then by doing that, we'll feel more compassion, more empathy, more patience, more humour. And these are all important aspects for us if we want to co-create with all that is, ever has been, ever will be, which is what we are. Thanks for watching, I truly appreciate it. Mā te wa. I'll see you again soon.